Afternoon punters, and welcome for this week's Flemington track report. Before I go into that, I just want to address an issue that I've had a few emails about. Some people aren't really keen on PayPal and would prefer to pay via EFT. So if you're in that boat and you'd like to acquire some of my services and you'd rather pay by EFT than PayPal, just shoot me a contact on the contacts page there and we can arrange it, no problem at all. In regards to the track on Saturday, the two most recent meetings at Flemington have been with the rail in the 6 and the 9 metre position. And while the rail's been out there, the track staff had already commenced preparing the inside 9 metres for this particular meeting. So that inside 9 metres of track is absolutely perfect. It's really well knitted together. It's definitely going to be in the good range, and they'll run pretty good times on the track. So around the circle, I think they'll race in a nice formation. There'll be an incentive to lead. I think the right leaders will do really well. Being on pace and handy will be good. If you want to come from the back, you'll need to find a high pressure race, and I think it'll be really good, exciting racing there at Flemington in the circle races tomorrow. Down the straight, interesting, a lot of people will be going into this meeting expecting the outside rail to be dominant again as it was at the most recent meeting. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that the inside half of the track is clearly better than the outside half. How that inside 9 measures up to the irrigation lanes, which is really sort of lane 11 out to about lane 17, is going to be interesting, but my view is that the inside 9 is going to be the superior ground, and the jockeys in the straight races that are game enough to stick to that inside section, I think they'll do very well. So there's only the 2 straight races, so it'll be very interesting, but I would be very surprised if anything was able to win on the outside fence tomorrow. In terms of wind, it's only forecast to be 25 kilometres, so it's probably not strong enough to be significant. If it gets up to 30, it starts to become an issue for leaders on that turning part of the track from the 1400 round to the home turn. But so a bit of a watching brief there, but you know, if the Bureau have got it right, it's probably not going to be a major factor. So perfect racing tomorrow, good exciting racing, and I'm really looking forward to it. I think we can find a few winners there tomorrow, punters. Just to do a preview, I'll just have a look at the one race, race 7 on the card, field of 15 now with a couple of scratchings. It's a race with a lot of pressure in it. A lot of horses drawn wide will be looking to sort of come over and, you know, not be too far away. So I don't think there'll be too much rest for the leaders here. And the other one interesting fact is Typhoon Jolie drawn down in barrier 2. They've put out a change of tactics that she's going to be ridden to lead. So if that happens, she'll take it up ahead of Mahani and Sahitsi probably, with Count Da Vinci not far away. But, you know, Loyalty Man, Strike Force, they won't be far away as well. So I think this will be a race that, you know, you're probably best served being in the sweet spot, sort of in the middle of the field. Maybe 3 wide with cover will be a good spot as well. So you know, the cream will probably rise to the top in this race, so it's a really interesting race. So you've got a horse like Sahitsi, who's been flying over 1400, who just come back a bit off its peak there last start, but still ran bravely. And he's trying to get out to 1600, where he's sort of probably failed previously. So if he can repeat his rating from 2 runs ago, he's top pick in this race, but that's at 1400, and this is 1600, and this is a high pressure race. So I'm sort of a little bit neutral on him. Count Da Vinci is a real interesting runner. I can't line him up, and if he wins, I'll be losing on the race. But you know, you got to be very wary of Scott Brunt when he brings them over. He seems to hit the target regularly. Rhythm to Spare interests me here. I think from a map point of view, it'll get the perfect run. Luke Curry going on. You know, I think it's a perfect ride for Luke. He likes riding sort of midfield stalkers. It all shapes well for this horse, who's going particularly well and just got no opportunity whatsoever at Moonee Valley last start. So Rhythm to Spare is definitely a winning chance. I'm taking a bit of a chance with Sovereign Nation. I think he can bounce back. He was dynamic first up before he Well, he's either back to his old self, or he put in a because he's been gelded. He resumed as a gelding, went outstandingly. In his past life, he was a bit hit and miss. So I'm putting the second up run down to just being a little bit flat. He's had 28 days off to be got right for this race, and if he can get back to the level that he produced first up, I think he's the horse to beat in this race, probably in what is a wide open race. Typhoon Jolie ran particularly well last start. I just can't really imagine her running out a strong 1600, but she's huge odds, and I think this is the first preparation for John Sadler, and he seems to have built her up slowly to get to something like this. And at the massive odds, I'd rather have her on my side, even though on face value, she doesn't appear strong enough to win this type of race. Amavasho will be quite popular here. He's got plenty of ratings in his past that are good enough to win this race, but he's unreliable. So if he does produce his best, he'll be in the finish, but he could have just as easily, be happy running in a couple of lengths behind them. So I find him hard to get overly confident about him. Chances to other horses like Strike Force and Loyalty Man, Cold Stone on the backup with a big weight drop. He's an interesting runner with Bay Merton's riding. Cosmic Lights for the same form line. They're also the chances. Petrology's, it's hard to imagine him winning 2 in a row, but stranger things have happened. So, anyone you want to back in this race, punters, don't be shy, because it'll be a very good competitive race, and a lot of the cards like that tomorrow, really good competitive racing. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope everyone has a good day. Thanks, punters.